Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk, NFTs, crypto, and Web3. I'm your host, Asia the Bird. Today, I have a very special guest with me today. She is the host of Soul Dog City Soul Sisters. Please welcome Shelly. Hello, Shelly, and welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's actually my first podcast. So thank you. I really feel really honored to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. But I definitely want to go ahead and ask, tell us where you're from and tell us a little about your upbringing.
I currently live in Sweden. This has been my home base like most of my life. I
Hmm.
was born in the Ukraine, but I have Latin American parents. There's a mixture of El Salvador, Dominican Republic, and Spain. So
Hmm.
when I was about 1 year old, we moved from the Ukraine, or which was like the Soviet back then, because I'm born in '82.
Right.
So we moved to the Dominican Republic, and
Hmm.
I lived there for about 7 years. The first 7 years of my life, I lived there with my parents and had my family, like my uncles and grandfathers and all of that. But when I turned 8, we moved to Sweden, and I lived here ever since. So, yeah, I might look very Latina, but I don't know. I would say that I'm very mixed when it comes to like my culture and everything, because I think I have a little bit of different worlds, yeah, and cultures. So.
Yeah, right, exactly. But I definitely want to, get into what has been your experience in terms of like a professional career? What are some things that you really like pursued and things like that?
I went up to high school in Sweden. And when I
Hmm.
finished high school, I felt that I needed to do something different. Back in those times, I wanted to become a psychologist, and one of the
Mm.
requirements to do so was to have 1 years of work experience. So I felt
Mm.
that I didn't want to work at Burger King or anything like that. So I went ahead and moved to the Dominican Republic. Yeah.
Right,
So
right.
and there I
Mm.
reached out to some friends of my father, and they said that okay, you can start working here. And I was doing like promoting like school books and all of that. But while I
Mm.
was there, I felt like maybe I didn't want to become a psychologist, not right away. So I wanted to do something else.
Mm.
And the Dominican Republic is known to have like lots of beautiful hotels, and the scenery there is really beautiful. So I started studying. I moved from Santo Domingo, which is the capital, to another
Mm.
city called La Romana, and
Mm.
started studying hotel management at a school which is actually an extension of an American school, which is called the Johnson and Wales University.
Mhm.
They are in Providence, and there are different campuses all over the
Right.
world. But one of the hotels in the Dominican Republic also had like a school there. So I
Mm.
worked at the hotel in La Romana, Casa
Right.
de Campo, and I studied hotel management. And I was doing that about almost 3 years. When
Mhm.
all of a sudden I got a phone call from my mom saying that,
Right.
your little sister, my little sister, she had cancer as a child, and she was like, the cancer is back. So I
Mm.
basically just packed up and left the building and went back to Sweden
Mhm.
because I needed to be close to my sister and my family. And then I tried to go back to hotel management and studying here in
Mhm.
Sweden and working. But I
Mhm.
found it hard because I felt that I didn't have so much time with the family.
Mhm.
And the more as you scale in the hotel business, the more you need to be available. And I was doing nights, like I was constantly at the hotel. I wasn't spending a lot of time with my family at all. So
Right.
I got into sales, and working from there immediate like I eventually became a store manager for a
Mhm.
furniture store. And
Right.
I got more and more into like the HR side of things, and the administration side of things. So
Right.
I have a bachelor in administration science, like and business management, and all that. And I'm currently working as a project manager for an interior design company here in Sweden. So
Mm-hmm.
What we do is that we don't sell to like we don't sell retail. We go as a business to business. So
Mm-hmm.
we have projects like hotels and schools and hospitals and office spaces. And I am
Yeah.
kind of like the little spider working the things around the background. So I speak to all kinds of people and all part of the world, like from the manufacturers to an architect to this sales rep and
Mm-hmm.
so this is what I do for my day-to-day thing, and I love it. It's very hectic, but and I think like if you
Right.
want to go Web3, you kind of have to be able to deal with the stress and all, because man, Web3 is it's a lot, and I don't know, like I don't know if it's for everybody. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's very important for people to keep like a wholesome relationship to the whole crypto world and Web3.
Right.
um, and this is one of the things that I try to address also in the spaces by educating and having conversations with different people, because I am sure that a lot of people are not like have the same questions that I have and feeling anxiety over things and their investments and how to go
Right.
about things. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Most definitely. Exactly. Now, how did you get involved with NFTs and crypto and Web3? Like, who exposed you, or how did you get exposed to NFTs, crypto, and Web3?
Well, I started with crypto through my, at that time, he was my boyfriend. Now he's my husband. And he was doing crypto for several years. I think he
Mm-hmm.
began like 2015, 2016, and he was doing
Mm-hmm.
his thing. And I kind of always try to keep it like on the side, but during
Mm-hmm.
certain periods of time, like during the bull market and everything, you would see he wouldn't be like available so much, and he was always often on
Right.
his phone and everything. And I
Mm-hmm.
just felt that for me, that I wanted to understand his world. So for able to
Right.
understand his world, I needed to find out by myself, even though I
Mm-hmm.
always picked up a little thing or two from his conversations with his brothers or him showing me things. But I felt that for our relationship and for myself, it was ultimately was very interesting. I
Mm-hmm.
felt that I needed to do that on my own. So what he told me was, first thing, like, well, you need to get a Twitter account, which I never had done Twitter. Like I always was like against Twitter. Like, how? Why do you make this short post? Like, why? Like
Right. Right.
you have Instagram and Facebook to have contact with your friends and family, and
Right.
especially me, since I left the Dominican Republic. I had made a lot of friends, and I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
keep that contact. So I had Facebook and Twitter, and not Twitter, Instagram, and
Mm-hmm.
doing that thing. But then
Right.
pretty quickly, I noticed as soon as I started using Twitter, I got more and more involved with that and getting to know people. Initially,
Mm-hmm.
when I got into crypto, I was only doing coins. And I started
Mm-hmm.
off at the Binance Smart Chain, because my husband, he said, like, well, they have like on Ethereum, you could try Ethereum, but their fees are pretty high. So I would
Mm-hmm.
recommend for you to start off like with a at a blockchain that has a lot lower fees. So I was doing the
Mm-hmm.
whole crypto thing and trying out Pancake Swap and and Binance and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was doing that. I was doxxed at the time, but immediately when Pancake Swap were launching their first collection, well, it's actually not their first collection, because for you to have a profile at PancakeSwap, you have to have like a small bunny. So I have
Mm-hmm.
a small bunny called Sunny, which is I still
Mm-hmm.
hold. But they were launching the Pancake Squad collection. I don't know if you heard of it.
I think so. Yeah, the Pancake Squad.
Yeah, and it's actually still till this day. Like I hold Violet is her name. My bunny, my PFP. I've hold her for over a year. I've had her since since I first got into to the collection and that side of things.
Mm-hmm.
So I still holding my Pancake Squad bunny, and I became part of a chat group called the Non Club, which was for bunnies with at least two non-traits, like for example, no clothes and no hat or no necklace and stuff like that. I like naked NFTs. Like most people know, people that know me, they like I like them when they're clean. I also, of course, I have NFTs with clothes, but if it's some sort of animal,
Mm.
The less clothes, the better. I don't know. I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
find
yeah.
that cute. So yeah, so
Mhm.
I was doing a lot of different projects. Uh,
Mhm.
Firstly introduced through the non club because I was just with the Pancake Squad. I wasn't doing anything
Right.
else, but we
Mhm.
became a pretty tight group of people, and we
Mhm.
were exchanging experiences, and people were talking about Ethereum and eventually even about Solana.
Right.
And at first, I was not going to go into Solana because I felt, Shelly, you have two wallets. You have Trust Wallet, you have MetaMask. That's enough to handle. So, but then a friend of mine last year, February last year, actually, she actually sent me. Or was it? No, it was this year, February of this year. She sent to me like, Shelly. Her name is Bonnie, by the way. Shelly, I want to
Mhm.
give you an NFT, but it's on Solana. Do you have a wallet? I was like, no, I don't have a wallet. I don't know, but you don't have to do that. I'm fine. Well, you need to get that wallet like now. And I was already, like, another friend of mine, Scribble, she was already all about Soul Dog City and posting about it, and how she was going to do the mint and all of that. And I was like, okay, but I still don't have a Solana wallet. So my first purchase NFT was a Soul Dog. I wasn't part of the mint. I didn't have a Soul wallet then, but because of my
Mhm.
other friend that gifted me a whole different NFT,
Mhm.
I felt like, you know what, I'm ready to purchase my first NFT, and it was a Soul Dog, a naked
Mhm.
one, of course,
Yeah, yeah,
a
that's really,
naked beagle with BTC glasses.
mhm. Yeah, that's really, really cool. But I definitely go and ask, like, how did you get involved with Soul Dog City, the NFT collection? Especially being the host of Soul Dog City Soul Sisters.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned before, my friend Scribble, she was talking all about this project, the Soul Dogs, and I felt that the art was really cool. So I wanted to know more about it, and I eventually purchased my first dog in February. And in the beginning, I was just part of the community. I was mostly on Twitter. I did not feel comfortable with Discord at all, especially because I
Mhm.
kept on hearing people getting scammed, like
Right.
through their DMs and all of that. So I was
Mm.
very careful at first with
Right.
getting into the whole like Discord. I felt like, you know what, I feel good with Twitter. I have the non-club, like that's enough, and maybe Scribbles
Mhm.
can tell me a little bit here and there about other things that are going on. But I felt that for me to keep investing and being part of the project as a holder, I needed to know more. So I got into Discord. I would say that only because of Soul Dog City initially, and then I started to discovering other projects as well. Yeah, but
Mhm.
I was in the chats and the different group chats and everything, talking to people. I just liked the
Right.
vibe that it was there.
Mhm.
And at first, we used to have like daily town halls, and I liked how it was. Like it was so informative, and I
Mhm.
liked the work that they were doing. So I remember being very, very anxious and feeling nervous about even being part of a space.
Right.
I was listening to other spaces when I was in the Binance Smart Chain, but I never, like, I had so much trouble, like, oh, I would like to say that they're doing a great job. I would like to say that, ask a question, but I'm just too nervous. I don't dare to
Right.
talk. But during the town halls, I felt like I became more and more part of the community, and I
Mhm.
started talking in town halls. I wasn't a speaker. I was just like a
Mhm.
listener, and just expressing what I was feeling and all of that. And
Right.
I felt more and more comfortable. Also, that in the group chats, I noticed that the way that people were talking was the way that they were talking still on Telegram when it came to
Mhm.
crypto. It was a lot of bro, yo, dude, man, and the kind of tone that there was. I
Right.
felt like I want to be here, but I don't like the way you're talking, referring to me. So if
Mhm.
I have a problem with that, then I need to address it, not
Mhm.
complain about it, but just tell them, like, in educating a nice way, tell, you know what, I'm actually a girl, and I know there are a lot of girls there that, and even in my description it says I'm all woman. So please don't refer to me as a dude or a man, because like I want to be here. And they got it immediately. So there were a lot of people calling me sis or ma'am, which I felt like I started feeling old because of that statement. But still, I just like the way that they were embracing the fact that I was
Mhm.
another person there that wanted to be part of the gang,
Right.
but wanted to have, like, I wanted to have my spot. I didn't want it to be just them. I want to be Shelly. I want to be allowed to be Shelly.
Right.
So the months went by, and eventually, this was around June of this year.
Mhm.
I was approached with one of the team members that's there, and asked me if I wanted to be part of a social club. And they said, "Well, we have this bow trait, which is female. Would you like to hold to be part of that social club?" And we started to thinking, okay, what could be like a good name that kind of fits, it's fitting with the Soul Dog City vibe, which is created like around in the 80s, 70s, and groovy and all of this type of vibe. So like, okay, well, how about
Right.
Soul Sisters? So yeah, and then I just felt that I wanted to do what other people had done for me, and it was that the little information that I had, and start getting more information to be able to share it with other people, to make people feel comfortable with the knowledge that they have, and if they have
Mhm.
the curiosity of knowing more, whether if they want to become a trader or an artist, or just simply like an NFT holder or an
Right.
enthusiast and stuff, to have a place where they could feel safe, that they wouldn't
Mhm.
feel that it's male dominated, even though that the Soul Sisters is not only for women, but we still want to push the fact that this is for the ladies to have
Right.
a spot that they still haven't gotten yet. Even though, like, I mean, there's a lot of us, but I think there's a lot of us that are quiet out there. And I just wanted to create another space where it was open and to get, like, yeah, more information and education if they want to.
Mhm. Yeah, right, most definitely. I think women's representation in Web3 and in NFTs is very, very important. And I like what you're doing because, it's another platform off of like Soul Dog City and say, hey, the women can get involved with this too, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think is very important, and I've noticed that many times when you go to this Twitter Spaces, there are a lot of good ones, but there's also some of them that are just like, yes, they're just having conversations, which could be important, but I felt that this is not why I wanted to create a Twitter Space. I wanted to create a space where people could actually have solid content. So
Mhm.
therefore, we have had, for example, had the CEO of Soulflare Wallet was Vidor is his name. I approached him, and this was like around in the middle of the summer. When there was this Solana hack, and there was a lot of people talking about how they got the wallet drained. I don't know if you remember. This was like in June or something, June, July.
Mhm. Yeah,
You
that part I didn't
remember?
know. Mm-mm. Not the
Yeah, but there
Solana.
was a lot of flooding, especially from the East community, because they wanted to like make a statement that Solana wasn't working well and all
Mhm.
of that. So I wanted for people to understand why the hack happened, and so I invited over Vidor, and I also invited over. She's an artist, but she likes to educate about politics and everything. Her name is
Mhm.
Graffito. That's her artistic name. She's also on Solana, because I do think it's important that on a male dominated platform or space to have women
Mhm.
also
Right.
representing and being guests. So yeah, I've had like women founders from different projects, crypto traders, educators, forex traders, also one-on-one artists, like all kinds of things. So
Mhm.
there has been weeks when we haven't had a space, because I prefer to have like a solid topic to talk about than just
Right.
having a space for the heck of having a space, you know?
Right. Yeah, yeah, most definitely. You want to have a space that, where it helps educate others, but also, there's like a purpose behind, important purpose. So yeah, that's really, really cool what you're doing. But I definitely want to go ahead and ask about what Soul
Yeah,
Dog City, like,
absolutely.
with Soul Dog City, why do you think, it's on like the Solana blockchain? Especially what's the difference between Solana and Ethereum? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, initially, I think that the situation now from when like the project started last year, but they didn't launch until January. January. I just want to state that I haven't been part of the team like from the beginning. I'm not one of the founders.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got involved because of Soul Dog Sisters, and this was in June. And back then, I wasn't really part of the team either. I was just the lead of the social club. So, but
Mm-hmm.
then in October, we kind of made a change of the governance model and created a
Mm-hmm.
DAO to make it more like decentralized and being led by the community. So we were 12 members that were chosen. Some of them were picked up first, and some
Mm-hmm.
of them applied, and then the rest of the city council kind of decided, okay, well, these people
Mm-hmm.
we could work with, we could do, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
but your question was how come Soldoc City went to Solana, right? And the
Yes.
reason, the difference between Ethereum and Solana. Well, I think the transactions are still a huge part of the whole thing. Like, for example, if you're gonna sell, if you're first time selling an NFT on Ethereum, you would probably go to OpenSea. That's the largest one, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And to start off selling your first sold NFT, you would have to pay a pretty high fee just to be able to sell more
Mm-hmm.
NFTs. This is something that you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay like a transaction before the sell on Magic Eden. And if you pay like
Mm-hmm.
this, are the blockchain fees, which are very low. So I would say that's one big difference, that you have to spend more money to make money on Ethereum, and on Solana it's easier to like swap and go from one project to the other. And I think that's good and bad at the same time, because
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that people need to, in most parts, not at every time, but for the most parts, every investment that you make, that people should try to make research before that. I know there was a period of time when people were making money regardless of what project they were getting into, and
Mm-hmm.
many young people that I noticed that there's a lot of young people out there on Solana. I mean, I have conversations with people. Oh yeah, I just got up from school. They're in high school, so I'm just 15. I'm just 16 years old, and I'm like I'm 40. Like I feel like I'm almost here or something like that. But it's just fun to see like there's a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
there. So when there are people that trying to, they tell me, well, I got into this project and now I want to swap it because I'm feeling concerned that there's gonna be a rug or something. Yeah, I just tell them like, what type of research did you do, or you just saw that it was a hype project? Oh, it was a hype project, or sometimes they did their research. Yeah, so I see that as one of my missions to help others, and maybe help them to avoid the mistakes that I've made, and some that I haven't made, but I know that other people have made. But yeah, ultimately, it's cheaper to be on Solana, and quicker to change, to go from one project to the other, I would say. Other than that, I think we're pretty much the same. People sell at a loss at every blockchain. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I find that interesting because I see like a lot of like NFT projects are on like with Ethereum. Not I see a few with Solana, and people are getting on Tezos. Like having NFT collections on Tezos platform. So I find that to be very cool. Because the common one is Ethereum.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. I had tried Tesos. I tried Tesos once because it was actually a free airdrop from an Ethereum artist, and she made a special collection for the Ukraine. So
Mm-hmm.
like the ones she made, basically the same airdrop for on Ethereum, but she created another collection on Thesos, and I wasn't quick enough to get the one on Ethereum, so I really wanted to get that one on Thesos. But other than that, I haven't really navigated Thesos very much. I tried AVAX.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried Cardano yet. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, Solana, and AVAX, and Thesis ones. I haven't tried Aptos either. Like I've heard
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people getting into that these days, but I don't know. It hasn't really appealed to me, not yet. Like I've been too busy trying to get this project started, so I will do that maybe at some point. But for now, I'm good where I'm at.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. But one thing I really like about the NFT product Soul Dog City is that, you're focused on utility, but also, combine the DAO and the DeFi, decentralized finance with the project. Why do you think it is to, for the project and your perspective, I know you're just part of a social club of Soul Dog City Soul Sisters. Like, why do you think, like with Soul Dog City, they're combining not only utility, but also DAO and decentralized finance?
Well, to start, I mean, the team was uh, initially was a team led project, and they were doing great things. Like, I mean, if you look at the website, you look at the art, you see that there's a lot of work put into all of that. But
Mm,
with that, like many other projects, like it takes a toll on you. Like a lot, you have to be on 24/7. And
mm,
for the team, the founding team, a few of them found themselves uh, being overworked, almost burned out. And when the
mm,
doghouse was minted in the beginning of June, and it didn't really go the way that they were hoping for, that they kind of hit a wall. So the
mm,
project kind of went, like it just stopped. Everything stopped. I kept on going with the Soul Sisters, and I was having my weekly spaces and all of that, but we weren't getting lots of feedback from the founders of the project at all.
mm.
um
Wow.
Project, I think some people can handle having a smaller group of
Mhm.
people running a business, but sometimes, like when like this way you say with children, like it takes a village, it also does the same thing with an NFT project. I think that the community
Mhm.
is a very important key in the success or the downfall of a project. Depending on
Mhm.
how committed the community is, the more successful for the most parts a project will be. So transferring to being decentralized and being more community driven, I
Mhm.
think it will invite to create more opportunities of creating and building like a real business and opening
Right.
collaborations with people that are already part of your project, that believe in your project, but have something more to add to
Mhm.
the already vision that the project had initially. So therefore I think it was the right call for Soldog
Mhm.
City to go to being team led, to becoming more and more to creating the DAO. There are still
Mhm.
things. I mean, it's a process. I think, for example, when you switch jobs, it is a process getting all the information. Even if you have done the same type of
Mhm.
job for years, when you change companies, there's a new system and there are new things that you need to learn, and as it goes, new questions come up and everything. So we're still in the transition side of things, I would say, from handing over the baton from the founding team over to us. But there are a lot of
Mhm.
new things that we have been implementing and new partnerships, and ultimately bringing back the community, because
Mhm.
after the doghouse mint, unfortunately, a lot of our people that we had, our holders, started to leave the project. To be honest, due to
Wow.
like the lack of communication. Yeah, the lack of communication from the founding team, which I later found out they have their reasons, but doesn't matter. I mean, the end result will be like if if you don't know what's going on, then it's difficult for you to stay there in the end. And if you don't get your answers, or it's just quiet,
Right.
like because it was basically radio silence from the founding team, to be honest.
Mm. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. But I definitely want to go ahead and switch gears and talk about within one of the Twitter spaces I was recently in the last Sunday, in regards to Soul Dog City collaboration with Good Mood Dudes, which is a brand that's creating soft drinks. So tell us a little bit more about that collaboration, if you can elaborate on that.
Absolutely. So yeah, so the Good Mood Dudes, they actually approached us. The
Mm,
old team already, like in back in June. At that time, they were just caught up with the doghouse mint and everything. But then, like a few months ago, I found out about this project, and I just felt
mm,
I loved what they were doing. I was in their Discord. I loved the organization that they had and how
mm,
they wanted to, just like us, want to have like the community to really get involved, and rather than being like a community with lots of thousands and thousands of followers, like having a really tight group of people that really believe in the vision that the team has. And this project have a brand that's called Ayoka, which is a soft
mm,
drink, a good, like a good mood drink, they would say. That's how why they created the
mm,
Good Moods. So they have already
mm,
a pretty successful uh, company. Although when they started out, it was during COVID, so they have had their setbacks, but they are
mm.
working. It's a team that you see that they're grinding, and they are
Right.
out on the streets and promoting their drink. So
Mm,
and I would say I just like what I heard. I just like what I saw. So I just felt like, you
mm,
know what? I believe that this could be a good transition for Soul Dog City, because we want to create a in real life brand. We want to create like a lifestyle brand. Like we talk about the rebels and the dreamers and the misfits, where there's a place for everybody at Soul
right.
Dog City. And we want to have good vibes, and we want to have this good energy. And I think, like, you know what, this team, this project is a good fit for us. So we're actually starting out. We will soon launch like some sneak peeks and stuff. But
Mm,
we have three social clubs within Soul Dog City. We have the Soul Sisters, we have the Mamba Dao, which are the Kobe trade. I don't know if you've seen that. It's a jersey with number 8 and it says Rebels on it. So it's kind of like a tribute to Kobe Bryant. And we
really cool.
created like a sports DAO, yeah, out of it. So the Kobe Gang, aka the Mamba DAO, it's
Mm,
our second social group. And then we have the Degen DAO, which is for all holders of dogs with different crypto trades, like a Solana T-shirt or
mm,
BTC glasses or ETH necklace or whatever. So they are part of this. So we have these three social clubs, and so we're actually creating our own. It is with their own beverage. We're not changing the recipe or anything, but we have um, we will have three different cans, like one for the Mamba
mm,
Dao, one for the Soul Sisters, and one for the Degen. So for the Degens are getting
mm,
the Ayoka beverage, and for the Mamba
mm,
Dao, the sports nerds, they're getting an energy drink, and the Soul Sister,
mm,
we're getting lemonade. So
mm.
yeah, but so we're so
That's
we're
really
starting
cool.
off with promoting that as a brand, and
Mm,
we will make some sort of airdrop and giveaways to our community. But I always try to see to have a larger view. I just don't want to make just another novelty thing and having a can with a soul dog on it. Like I want
right.
us to be able to start a partnership where we will try to launch this beverage here in Sweden to start off, and to see where we can take it, and eventually create our own flavor, which will also cost us some money. But we just want to
Mm,
see how it is received by first and foremost from our community, and then we
right.
try to scale it from there. So And we see other products that we eventually could also add to our Soul Dog brand. Like they're releasing the chewing gum, and yeah, I just like what Philip is doing together with his team, and they have a vision, and we want to be part of it, and we want to help them out to grow, and at the same time grow together with them. So basically, that's the partnership right now that we have.
Mhm. Yeah, that's really, really cool. But in terms of NFTs, how popular are NFTs in Sweden? Possibly.
Well, some people are into NFTs. I would say more are into crypto. There's like there's more and more people involved with crypto in Sweden that I've ever seen before. There are a lot
Mhm.
of early adopters.
Mhm.
Also, I mean, if you look at, there are some big names in the crypto space that are Swedish. I don't know if you ever heard about the Moon.
Mm-mm.
Not someone that I particularly like, but he's Swedish, and there's a lot of other people there that
Yeah.
that are from Sweden that have gotten into different crypto projects and NFT projects. But no, you don't hear about NFTs like on the streets. You still don't. So
Mm.
and even the people like where I work with, like I go around sometimes with my pancake swap sweaters, hoodies, and stuff like that. But they don't. That oh, that's a cute money you have there. So yeah, yeah. Right now,
Mm.
just got the few of my family members into NFTs and all of that. But
Mhm.
yeah, so I have a few holders. But
Right.
yeah, not that you hear a lot. How is it in
Right.
Washington? Do you hear a lot about NFTs and crypto?
Not necessarily in Washington D.C. in the Washington D.C. area. Not as much. It's just the only time we hear it is just online on Twitter. So, but I definitely want to go ahead and switch gears and talk a little bit about like what are some things you foresee just in regards to NFTs and Web3 and the metaverse. You know what I mean? Do you think it's here to stay or will it eventually die down?
You think you mean all of them, or like NFTs and metaverse, all of that? I think that for NFTs, I mean, we have always had collectibles, like
Mhm.
even back in the Stone Age, like people were trading stones with each other. We have that. That's
Mhm.
part of our DNA in a way. So if you have this, okay, maybe I want to change that for that. So this is just like what people need to understand is that these are digital collectibles in a way, and only because it's not as tangible as like a pen or whatever, it doesn't mean it's real. And I think that until people really understand it, it will take some time for it to really take off. Although what I think is smart is that people are trying to combine the Web 2 with the Web 3. I think that's the
Mhm.
way to go to still keep it real. uh, I don't know really about the metaverse, even though Salt Lake City initially, like the first vision was to be the first metaverse on Solana. I don't think the world is really ready for that, because even though like I have conversations with people on a daily basis, and
Mhm.
like you get very close to people, like in a way sometimes we open up to each other more by chatting with each other or this way
Right.
than what we do face to face. And one of the things that we most people of us want is that we want to meet in real life. I want to go to Washington DC and meet this girl. You want to do that. I mean, that's what I see from people
Right.
doing. They don't feel only comfortable, okay, well, you sit here where you are and chatting on your computer and me chatting on
Right.
the computer, and that's all that we're gonna do, and that's fine. People want to like hang out in a way. So
Mhm.
therefore, just trying to divide it, I don't think that's the way to go. I think we still have to
Mhm.
keep it very real and connected to real life. So with the
Mhm.
metaverse, I think there would be eventually a way where that maybe there spots where people can go into this metaverse, but they're still meeting with each other like in real life, like a
Mhm.
capsule or whatever. Like there will be shops where you can go enter the
Right.
metaverse, and then there are people like kind of like
Mhm.
arcades and stuff like that. But I don't know
Mhm.
for sure. I think it's still too early, and it's taking a lot
Right.
longer. Like I mean, I think that a lot of projects didn't anticipate the amount of work and amount of time and money that it actually takes to create such thing.
Right.
So yeah, I don't think that we would be seeing like we will be seeing games like it's example like sandbox and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But entirely the metaverse, I think it will take some time to make that happen for real. But NFTs, I definitely think that they are here to stay. There are a lot of projects that will not survive. I think that what's most important for people is to understand that they cannot only rely on the art.
Right.
That people are asking more and more, even if it doesn't have to do with the art itself. It could be like, for example, if you hold a dog, that you have some company that to where people can like okay match up like adoption site
Mhm.
where people can match up a dog with with a person, and you will only get that matchup, or you will get a sort of discount if you hold
Mhm.
certain NFT. I think that you could have this type of
Mhm.
utilities, not necessarily be having the same traits as the NFT, but that type of utility. I think that people will still keep requesting that, ways of making some sort of income in a passive way.
Mhm. Yeah, right, most definitely. But, I definitely wanna go ahead and ask, like, this one question. Have you ever thought about having your own NFTs possibly or no? Like, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, we have been doodling a lot with the kids, and we have, but my kids are very like, and my husband is an artist, so they're very creative and all, and also, of course, I've had kind of like the thought of that, but I don't know whether that's really my
Mm.
how would you say, like my spot in the space. I think I
Right.
can contribute with other things, yeah, and I'm pretty happy where I'm at the moment. So, but who knows? Who knows? If I find something that appeals to me, then maybe, yeah. But ultimately, I
Mhm.
would say that I would rather help out others to push their projects. Like we currently, like this is not really, we haven't really announced it yet, but this is coming very soon, like by the end of next week. Together with the Soul Sisters, we're actually working together with a young, promising artist. Because this is one of the things that I want to promote. That we have our underdog fund that was supposed to be active from the starting of the DAO. And yes, I want to
Mhm.
help out other young people that are want to find their own space and their purpose in the space, and help them out to achieve their goals. So we're actually launching a collection, not of collectibles, of actual products, together with
Mhm.
a young artist, where she has created her own art, her own take on the Soul Sisters. And it's not only for the Soul Sisters. It's gonna be. I mean, I like we already have the prints and everything, and we just sending them off to the manufacturers to start producing them. But it's going to be very interesting to see where it leads, and I think it's going to bring more people, not necessarily from the Solana blockchain, because it doesn't say Soul Sister like Soul Dog City in
Mhm.
any way or form. But they're
Right.
dogs. They're female dogs there. That's all that
Mhm.
I can say. I'm very excited about this because I've been following this artist for quite some time, and I just like what she does. So I reached out to her and said we already had like a conversation about her art, and because I'm a fan. But I said, you know what, you should really do something with Soul Dog Sisters. You get free hands, you can do whatever you want. But yeah, I want to see your take on it, and whatever profit we make, we're gonna split it 50-50 with her.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, that'd be really, really cool. But also too, I definitely want to go ahead and ask, like, in your perspective, what do you foresee like Soul Dog City, specifically Soul Dog Soul Sisters, like in the next 3 to 5 years, possibly?
Yeah, well, what we're hoping for is to, first of all, to create a bigger, like to have a bigger group. We don't want to have thousands and thousands. Like I've never made extra promotions about Soul Dog Sisters. If you look to our website, we don't even have 200 followers, and I think that's perfectly fine. We're evolving organically, and we're followers that we are getting through the spaces that we're having, and the different activities that we're doing, and we just wanted to keep on doing that. Would love to set up like some sort of crypto school and also Web3 school, where we could, for example, have artists that if we have people that want to know how to create 3D art, we would have like sort of like how do you say like with the word for workshops and all of that. So
Mm-hmm.
that would be the next step, I would say, to where we could set up like either weekly or once a month we have these workshops. It could be
Mm-hmm.
in real life that we try to, like the Soul Sisters, depending on which city they are and what country they are, they have like something like an event for the weekend. Or it can also be streaming where people just see how like like on their end they could have their own computer or their
Mm-hmm.
iPad and know how to navigate, uh, yeah, whether if it's 3D art or how to read charts, all of that's what I would like to have like
Mm-hmm.
moving forward in the future. And of course also helping out other promising artists and projects to kind of fulfill their vision
Mm-hmm.
on what they want to do in the Web3, and if
Mm-hmm.
we can contribute in any way, either if it is through mentorship and try and finding, okay, you need this, okay, I know a person who knows that, and like kind of help them out finding the partnership, or if it is through funding and some sort of sponsorship, or yeah, or scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I would like to for us to do as for the Soul Sisters moving forward.
That'd be really, really amazing. But definitely, last but not least, where can people find you on social media? How can people, get in contact with you in terms of any questions, especially about, the Soul Dog City Soul Sisters and things like that?
Well, I have my own, like we have two Twitter accounts. I have my own, which is Crypto Shelly, and there they can like people they can absolutely approach me through there. Also through the Soul Sisters Twitter, they can also, that's how you approach me, uh, through the Soul Sisters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course they can also visit our Discord. I do have an Instagram which is not open for the public because to I made a decision that since I really wanted to pursue Web3 and the
Mm-hmm.
crypto, I don't post very much, and the people that
Right.
I don't have so many followers. It's mostly for for my family and friends that are in other countries. But of course, I have my Instagram account, but it's not an open Instagram account. So I would say if they want to
Mm-hmm.
get in contact with me, the best way would be through Twitter or going to the Soul Dogs Discord and then sending me a friend request or so.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Shelly, for jumping onto the show. Soul Dog City Soul Sisters is really, really cool. I first found out about Soul Dog City like a couple months ago on Twitter, and I was like, wow, this is a really cool NFT collection, with the dogs, and I like how retro it is. So that's what's really, really cool about that. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you for reaching out, and yeah, feel happy to text me or whatever, or we can do a space together for Soul Sisters next time, because I think it's also very important what you're doing and your podcast. So yeah, I commend you for,
Mm.
like, I mean, I know it takes a lot of time and preparation to do so. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here. Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Take care.
You too.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also follow me on my social media platforms and visit my website, ASIATHABIRD.com, and be on the lookout for more interviews involving Web3, NFTs, crypto, and the metaverse.